There's a running joke in North Korea. A young man cannot make a girlfriend without a cell phone.
That's horrible. Hello, everyone. My name is Grace, and welcome to the first episode of Digital Divide. I am joined by Professor Kim.
Hello, Grace.
I met Professor Kim at the GW Institute for Korean Studies summer trip, where we went to Korea for the summer for 2 weeks.
That was fun.
It was fun, yeah. We visited a lot of touristy places, met a lot of people, saw a lot of businesses.
And very serious places also.
Yes, like the subways.
Right.
Yeah. We spent a lot of time on the subways. It was actually really nice because we are currently in Washington, D.C., and the subway systems are, they're interesting to say the least. I mean, number one, they look like you're walking into a Cold War era bomb shelter. And, you know, sometimes depending on where you're at, your phone will just randomly stop working.
Especially under the river. Right?
Yeah, under the river when you're crossing from DC into Virginia. But, you know, Korea didn't have those issues. You know, I saw people on their phones the entire time without any issues. You know, people watching the news, reading like news articles or like watching TV shows. And that was really fun because I wasn't on my phone a lot during the trip because I wanted to be engaged, but I would like look over people's shoulders to see what they were doing.
Your new hobby?
Yeah, my new hobby. And like it was so fun. Like I got to keep up with the news, like what was going on with the election, and I got to watch a lot of cool TV shows. You know, I saw a fair amount of Crash Landing on You, even though for someone who hasn't seen the show, I saw a lot of it on the subway.
It's my favorite,
Really?
actually, yeah. And I found it's very entertaining, obviously, but also educational.
How so?
I love Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin, so they are my favorite movie stars. And they got actually married after shooting the
I
movies.
know, yeah.
And educational, well, it shows very dramatically what's going on in North Korea on the ground when it comes to cell phone use.
How
by
so?
North Koreans.
Like what scene
So,
stuck out to you?
Like North Koreans in Pyongyang, the capital city, talking on their latest smartphones and even playing games on their smartphones in restaurants, cafes, or even in a car.
And when you say like smartphones, you mean, can the audience at home who are like watching or listening expect to see like the cell phones we have in our back pockets right now or like on our tables in front of us, that type of same smartphone with the screen and everything?
Yeah. They do have several factories, and they do have around 10 smartphone brands. They started to produce smartphones in 2013, and now their smartphones not that advanced, compared to like the smartphones available in America or South Korea, but they're good enough. Trendy smartphones and a lot of functions they do have on their smartphones, as we do.
Is there like one particular brand out of the 10 that is considered the most trendiest amongst
The latest one is
the
Chongsong.
generation?
The latest version of smartphones, like a Samsung, you can fold like a foldable smartphones.
Have they adopted that as well?
I don't know how they did, but they do have that kind of latest versions, and it costs almost $1,000.
That's crazy because I'm assuming that their annual salary is not that as much.
The wages for average workers is like $3,000, 3,000 Korean won, not $3,000.
Yeah.
It's when you apply the black market exchange rate, it's less than $1.
Oh.
They did raise the workers' wage last year like 10 times, but still like several US dollars.
So are the only people who have cell phones or smartphones in North Korea the rich people?
Obviously, they're the first people who were able to get their smartphones when North Korea introduced their 3G service in late 2008. But as time goes by, people realize this is a really, fascinating device, and they really want to get it. Even if you're not rich enough, you may have some family members in South Korea, defected into South Korea, and somehow managed to get some money from them. Then you can buy some smartphones.
So how many phones are like the average household allowed to own? Because you said kids, and I know at least in my family, like I have a cell phone, my parents have a cell phone, and my brother also has one. So can multiple cell phones be purchased for a singular household, or is it only like the head of the household who can own one?
Only the household, the head of the household, that was in the first years, like early 2010s. But nowadays, the government is not really executing strict regulations. So as long as you can afford to buy cell phones, then the government never mind, unless you're on their blacklist.
They have a blacklist. How do you
Yeah.
get on that?
Publicly or privately criticize Kim Jong-un, their top leader, or the party, is something you don't want to do, because once the secret police detect it, you're gonna be in a very serious trouble.
So let's say like hypothetically, you get on that list and you can't legally purchase a smartphone. Can you possibly smuggle one from China and use that in North Korea? Is that possible?
Smuggling, that's possible, even though it's illegal by definition. And you can manage to use it in North Korea, but it requires huge amount of bribe, I think. And you have to be well connected to the technicians at least, right? And the service center people
So
to make it happen.
can foreign phones work in North Korea, or is it like the system in North Korea is made in a way that like once foreign phones enter the system, like, or the country, it just stops working?
It stops working, but again, you may be able to make it happen if you bribe some people, some officials and the technicians and the service center. So why would you do that? It takes huge amount of money and time, efforts, unless it is really, really important to you.
And also, I like, speaking of foreign phones, I like know that a lot of foreigners will come to North Korea and obviously their phones aren't working, and they'll like purchase a North Korean SIM card that they can
at
use
the airport.
at the airport. So that allows them to gain access to all the features on their phone that would be allowed in North Korea.
Yeah. In addition to that, the SIM card sold only to the foreigners. It allows making international calls and getting access to the internet, which is not allowed to the normal people in North Korea.
Won't officials be a little concerned that once these foreigners leave the country, that these chips might fall into like the hands of maybe like the hotel cleaning staff or something like that, and that just open up the world to the North Korean citizen?
That happened.
It has?
That happened in the first years after they allowed foreigners to buy North Korean SIM cards. There were some North Korean people who picked up by accident, or maybe there were some arrangement between the foreigner and the local North Koreans about this SIM card. But anyway, once the government realized that's happening, they required every foreign traveler to return their SIM card to the government.
Can a foreigner buy like a North Korean cell phone and take that back to their home country, or is that not allowed?
I do know some experts, smartphone experts, managed to get North Korean smartphones and disassembled it and analyzed it, but it was kind of smuggled out of North Korea. They didn't buy as a foreigner, as a souvenir for their family members.
Interesting. So do they have dating websites and apps like the United States and South Korea? Like, do they have their own version of Hinge or
Good
Tinder?
question. I really want to know about that, but not that I know of. But cell phone itself, it is a really great device for young people for dating. Let's put it this way: there's a running joke in North Korea that a young man cannot make a girlfriend without a cell phone.
Really?
Yes, it's like a car for teenagers or young people in America. Without a car, a young American cannot make a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on in North
So
Korea.
they see it as a sort of status symbol,
Right.
essentially.
Right. Prestige. Symbol
Yeah.
of prestige.
It's like if a guy whips out his like really nice car keys from his pocket just to like flash
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to show off.
If this guy has no cell phone, that means he's not a promising person.
That's horrible. So like I guess their apps, like their features, like you said, do they have their own version of like social media or like Google Maps or streaming services? Like how does that work?
Social media, I don't think so. I mean, this is basically about communications, and North Korea is a police state. So the government, the last thing the government wants to see is North Korean people, average people, having this kind of social media and publicly discussing what the government is doing and even criticizing the government. So they can text, they can exchange text messages, but it's all real-time monitored.
I went to a lecture recently and they explained that they recently implemented a feature on phones where it will autocorrect any South Korean phrases. Like the example that they gave was oppa.
Do you know what oppa means?
Yeah, I do. But they like obviously a term of endearment that means something different, like in South Korean culture now, not like the original like older brother meaning.
Why it is important? Why the government is putting huge amount of efforts and time to detect this text messages with the South Korean terms. They do know a lot of North Koreans they're watching K-dramas and K-movies. In the past, the government didn't really try hard to crack down on it because it was really hard, and even the government officials, they were enjoying watching K-dramas. But a few years ago, Kim Jong-un, the top leader, he himself declared that he won't let this happen anymore. And they passed a very serious law banning watching K-drama, K-movies, and using South Korean terms like oppa. And if you are found to like watching K-drama or using South Korean terms, you will be punished.
Oh, that's very severe.
Yeah.
So how, obviously, we know that people do this smuggling South Korean media into North Korea to this day. Do we know the methods and how they do it? Like, do they use a USB drive or do they like smuggle a cell phone that has Chinese media? I mean, not Chinese, South Korean or maybe Chinese media downloaded onto it.
You already know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they do. And in the past, a lot of CDs and DVDs were smuggled from China into North Korea. So along with DVD players.
Oh my gosh, that's like so old. I
Yeah,
remember
so
I
old.
had that
Yeah,
as a
so,
kid.
Yeah, you don't use that anymore.
No, yeah.
USB or little smart chips. That's
Yeah, no,
that's
like,
something you need. And the DVD, when you get caught, there's no easy way to escape or explain it. But if policemen just raid on your house, you can easily crash USB or little chips, or even swallow little chips.
oh no, that doesn't sound pleasant. Nowadays, we watch everything on streaming devices,
Right.
like Netflix, Amazon Prime. Do they have like those apps on their phones that they can watch pre-approved, obviously,
Right.
television and movies?
Yeah, you know much about what's going on in North Korea. Yeah, they do have streaming service, but it's about, as you said, government-approved materials and contents. So not that exciting. Hollywood movies are available.
Should I expect to see North Koreans walking around major cities looking down at their phones, watching little movies and stuff? Is that like pretty common?
Yeah.
That is?
Yes. That's why you have this new headaches for North Korean, parents. Their kids are
They have
so
iPad
much,
kids?
yeah, so much addicted to their smartphones. Even at the dining table, you know, the mom is really, frustrated and sometimes yelling at their kids.
What are the kids addicted to? Are they addicted to
A lot of games.
games?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be online games.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids. I think they're basically enjoying the game apps on their smartphones, or even just old style, 2G or 3G cell phones.
Mm-hmm. Is this something we also see in adults too? Because I know
Yeah,
it
all those
is.
two. So there's a very famous North Korean documentary, 열성 독자,
Mm-hmm.
avid reader in English.
Mm-hmm.
It was aired by the Korea Central TV. So this is about a factory manager who is addicted to smartphone game, basically Korean chess master,
Mm-hmm.
and he was playing this game even in his office, and once he come back home at the dining table
Mm-hmm.
in the beds even. So his wife teased him. And, if you have someone like this person who is a dad and husband,
Mm-hmm.
there's no need to mention their kids.
So cell phone addiction transcends borders, I guess.
Right.
So, like, speaking of borders, these cell phones were made to be used in North Korea and essentially like self-destruct once you leave its borders. How does that work if you're a North Korean resident that lives close to like the Chinese border or possibly the South Korean border? Is cell phone usage there a little bit iffy just because, it's not meant to be that close to another country's towers?
The signals may be good enough nowadays, but North Korean, the government put some devices that would disrupt the cell phone signals coming from China, and that also affects the signals from North Korea. So in the border area, it is a little bit messy. Why do we have this messy situation? Because a lot of people in the border area, they smuggle Chinese cell phone, and they make international calls on their Chinese cell phones to their family members in China or even South Korea. Obviously, North Korean government, they don't like it happening.
Yeah. If we're thinking in terms of reunification, do you think that North Korea will be able to catch up to South Korea technologically to the point where when they do reunify, its citizens won't have as hard of a time to integrate into South Korean technology? Or do you think maybe possibly because South Korea is becoming more technologically advanced at a rapid speed, there's going to be a huge divide? Because obviously this isn't going to happen in the next couple of years. It's going to take a lot more time.
Maybe several decades.
Several
who
decades,
knows?
yeah. Do you think like there's either it's going to be easy for them to integrate or is it going to be harder?
Obviously, there should be some transition period,
Mm-hmm.
and North Koreans may be struggling with, catching up with the more advanced South Korean technology and, digital culture, if you will. But I think North Koreans are, and even the government are very eager to, embrace more and more advanced digital technologies. That includes, latest, smartphone models. So once, South Korea introduced their advanced technologies and devices to their, friends and brothers in North Korea after the unification, I think North Korean people will be pretty much welcoming and enjoying the new technologies and the culture.
I guess it's also like dependent on generations because I feel the younger generation would be able to pick up the technology a lot easier than the older generation.
Right.
So that's going to be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you everyone for watching the first episode of Digital Divide. Please feel free to follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X. And we are planning on posting an episode every single month, so stay tuned for that. And we'll see you next episode. Bye.
See you next month, Grace.
Yeah, see you next month.
Digital Divide is made possible by the Uni Korea Foundation and the George Washington University Institute for Korean Studies.